time I'm with it alone.
What's up, guys? Ace is here with...
Yo, it's Brian.
And we are worth the download. And this week we're actually reviewing... Well, we reviewed 2 albums. We just did one. But Royal Blood is for this video. And with their album, How Did We Get So Dark? So, I'm a fan of Royal Blood. I know you hadn't listened to a Royal Blood, so I'm curious to see what your reaction is. But, you know, it's been just a little background on Royal Blood. They came onto the scene about 3 years ago, I think 2014, to release their first self-titled album, Royal Blood. And I was an instant fan of the album. I thought it was awesome. You know, I like back to front, you know, front to back, just a solid album. And it was, was played nonstop on the radio, and even made it onto, I think, a few video game soundtracks and stuff like that. I think whereas you actually heard them for the first time. But in other case, they came on strong, so I was really curious for a follow-up album to see where they were coming. So when I saw their release of their first single, a few weeks back, I was super excited. I'm like, oh, this new album coming! I can't wait to hear it. And I was telling you about that, and then here we are. It's time to review it.
There you go.
You, as listening to this for the first time, or Royal Blood for the first time, how did you feel about it?
So, yeah, like you were saying, like, I've never really listened to them, like, their first album, because they only have 2 albums, correct? So, this will be their second album. And their first album, I had no idea, but I didn't even know who they were, actually. Quite frankly, I'm a big baseball fan, since I'm wearing a baseball cap and some Mexican baseball team. Anyways, whatever, not important. And I was playing a game called MLB The Show, which I don't, they're not an endorsement, or they're not paying for this video, just saying. Can't remember what it was. I think it was 14 or 15, whatever the case may be. I played that game, and it was one of the songs in the background. And I was like, oh, it's sick, right? And I was like grooving with it. Actually, quite frankly, I was hitting home runs with it. I'm getting off topic. Point is, I liked the song. And I didn't know it was them, and then you showed me like the actual... this album, and I was like, oh, I heard these guys before. And I am not actually disappointed. Now, I just have a small question for Aces. Like, did they keep their sound? Because I didn't never heard the first album. I like this album, first of all. I'm going to continue talking about that, but did they keep their sound from the first album to the second?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've maybe developed a little bit. They've incorporated a couple of other things. Like, the first album, what I loved about it was actually really raw. It was just like, kind of in your face rock and roll, which was awesome, because in 2014 there wasn't other bands that were being traditional to the sound like that, and so I think that's what I loved so much about the album. Right. But they definitely kept that in this album for the most part. Like, I'd say about 90% of it, and they maybe not experimented, but they added maybe a few little extra nuances, but they definitely kept the sound.
So this is how I think about it. I actually enjoyed this album and this band in particular, because I feel like they're a little bit, I mean, they're not completely unique, but they have something special about them that makes them different from everyone else. And because of that situation, I feel like I said to you earlier in older videos, and who's been following us very religiously, not religiously, but like constantly, I guess. But anyways, I've made this definition of modern rock, as in the rock, what rock should sound today in 2017 going on to 2018. This album is it. This album's it's one aspect of the definition of modern rock right now. And that's how I enjoyed it. I love the whole thing. I am a rock fan, but he's a bigger rock fan. But this was one of the best rock albums of this year so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, for sure, like I said, I was already excited for the release of this album, having been such a big fan of the first album. And that was one of the questions that I had, right? Were they going to keep that sound? Were they going to change it up a little bit? And like I said, like, they've changed it up, like, just slightly, maybe a couple of little nuances and things that they've, maybe experimented a little bit with their sound, but the essence of the band is still, like, pretty much intact. And it's just really solid, catchy, like, guitar riffs, awesome vocals, in your face, like, it just gets you pumped. Like, it's an awesome workout album, I would say. Yeah, and again, it pretty much back to front to back, a solid album again. So I am definitely not disappointed with this album whatsoever. I'm super pumped. It's gonna stay on my phone for sure. Definitely for the next little while. So I guess that kind of gives you a preview of what we're probably going to score this puppy. So if you're gonna give it a score out of 5, what you going to give it?
So I have to break the seal for the second time. It is actually a full 5 out of 5 amazing albums. Just put their albums.
Just put their albums?
Like 5 times.
Okay.
Out of 5, yeah. It's definitely worth the download in my books or in my phone. And that's all I can really say at this moment. I'm more excited to see what else they can offer. That's what I'm more excited about.
For sure. The band definitely has a big future. I think it's super... I'm super pumped for them. So, for me... I'm not gonna break my seal this time. No, I'm not gonna give it a perfect 5 out of 5, but I definitely will give it a 4.5. Like it's really solid album. Like I said, back to front, front to back. You think a solid album. So if you are into rock and you want a solid album, definitely download this album. You need to.
Yeah,
that's it. So 4.5. I'm gonna say
it's a 4.75. No, is that how that work out?
Well, the math is, but I was gonna give it like a symbol.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm gonna say 4.5. I'm gonna give it crowns because they're royal.
They're royal. Yeah.
All right, cool. So there's your review for the Royal Blood album for this week. Definitely give it a listen, guys. Again, what are we gonna be doing next week?
Next week we're gonna do your smart,
Smart?
loyal, Mr. DJ Khaled. I can't even do his voice. That's terrible.
That was terrible. But that's okay. You got some sort of his scruff going on.
No, he has a bigger one, man. That guy's like. Anyway, it's not important.
Anyways, DJ Khaled, that's the album we're going to be doing for next week. So definitely subscribe so you guys know when we drop that review. And hopefully we'll be back on schedule, not delayed like these last couple ones have been. And again, let us know what you guys thought about this album in the comments. And don't forget, we're actually going to start doing Instagram Lives. So make sure you follow us there at WorthTheDL. And I guess that pretty much wraps up this video. So
pretty much.
Catch you on the next one.
Yep. I smell from the gym, eh?